Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jemiah Rochelle, and in this video, I will be talking about my amazing OB clinical experience. Y'all. I loved it so freaking much. Like, have y'all ever had one of those experiences where a moment happened or a moment came and it was just like your whole life just made sense? I know that sounds ridiculous and dramatic AF, but I mean, it kind of is. But y'all, I absolutely loved my OB experience, my OB clinical. It was amazing. My instructor was amazing. The hospital was amazing. The nurses were amazing. The experience was amazing. I saw everything. I almost passed out. Yes, I did. But it was great. It was a great learning experience. I don't know, y'all. Like, I just know that that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, no other clinical made me feel that way. Unfortunately, the quarantine took place. Fortunately, though, I was able to get my OB clinical out the way, but it kind of cut my peds clinical kind of short. So I felt like if I would have stayed, if it wasn't, you know, interrupted, I probably would have loved peds too. Not enough for me to do it, but I honestly feel like I would have enjoyed it. But OB, it was amazing. I saw my first vaginal delivery. I got to hold the lady's leg. I held her hand, y'all. It was just, it was beautiful. Like, I saw another C-section. I had already seen a C-section before, but I saw another C-section. I was able to look away while they pulled and yanked that lady's belly apart, but I didn't pass out. What I did almost pass out on was the circumcision. I saw a little baby get circumcised, and apparently he didn't have enough foreskin for the doctor to just cut him once. So if you've seen a C-section, you'll know what I'm about to talk about. If you haven't seen, I mean, not a C-section, a circumcision. If you haven't seen a circumcision, you won't understand really what I'm talking about because I can't really paint the picture. But they had to clamp the baby's penis on both sides and then snip one side and then snip the other side. And I saw the red underneath. Whew! I almost passed out. Like, the first time in my head, I was just like, okay, Jemiah, you're not about to make yourself look crazy. Like, you're not finna faint on this floor. You're not about to faint right now. You not. You got this. You got this. Just breathe. Just take a deep breath. So that's what I was doing. I was just like, it's okay. The doctor was asking us questions, and I just let my classmate answer the questions because it was really her patient. It really wasn't my patient, but they were just letting me watch. And I was just like, it's getting hot in here. I was like, are you feeling hot? And she was like, no. And I was just like, okay, I think I gotta get some water. I'll be right back. So I leave, and this was after they snapped the second one. So I made it through the first one. And probably if they didn't have to do the second one, I would have been okay. But I started feeling a little bit tingly. I was feeling hot. I was like, okay, I'll be right back. Let me go get some water. So I left to go get some water. This was like my first day being at the hospital. So no, our second day, but our first time being on the floor really. So I left to go and get some water, but the way the hospital was set up, they had two sides. So the break room where I knew where the water was on this side, and at that moment I didn't realize that. So I went down the first hallway, and so I went to the door, and I'm like, oh, this isn't the break room. I was like, this isn't the break room. And a lady was walking by, and she looked at me, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be okay. And so I'm walking, looking for the break room. I get to the next door, that wasn't the break room either, y'all. So I just put my back on the wall and I just felt myself sliding down, sliding down. She was like, okay, let me get you some water. So I put my hands over my legs and I'm just like, breathe. I'm like, breathe, Jay, you're not finna pass out. You're not finna pass out. And so luckily she was able to give me some water and I sat down. Everybody was like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And they were like, oh, she's a student. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, oh my gosh. So they were able to give me some water. I had fruit snacks in my pocket and I had a granola bar in my pocket. First, I tried to eat the granola bar. It tasted disgusting. Like, I wanted to throw it up. I spit it out, and so they thought I was throwing up, but I wasn't throwing up. It just didn't taste good in that moment. So I popped those fruit snacks out and drank that ice cold water, y'all. They put a hot towel on my neck and my forehead, and in like 5 seconds I felt way better. But I don't know if it was because I really had ate that day, or I think it was just a mix. I had ate that day, I started my period that day, and that seeing the baby get snipped like that, it was too much for me. Too much for me. But I did not pass out. I almost passed out. But they were so gracious, they were so sweet. Everybody that I talked to, I would just ask them like, hey, you know, do you have anything where I can join? Can I watch you do this? Are you doing this today? Can I watch you do that? And they were all so nice and pleasant. They were just like, you know, sure, you can come in, you can watch, you can participate, you can help out. I got to put in a catheter. That was my first time actually doing it on an actual patient. And y'all, her vagina was perfect. Like, the anatomy literally looked like a textbook. So it was so easy. And my instructor said the same thing. She was like, yeah, you had a textbook. She had a textbook vagina. So it was really easy for me to see what to do. And my instructor was so calm and supportive. You know, she was allowing me to do things. The nurses that I was with, they were all so nice and pleasant. It was actually the nurse that allowed me to do that. It was her first year working, so she just graduated, so she understood what it felt like. So, you know, it was just an overall great experience. We did have to do checkoffs on mom and baby, well, assessments on mom and baby, and we had to get checked off for that. I will warn y'all, taking vitals on a baby is kind of hard because, you know, for babies, their respiratory rate is increased, their breathing is increased. So, and then you like, excuse me, you can hear both of them at the same time. Like when you're listening to the heart, you can also hear the breathing. So you have to really be able to zone in and tune one out and focus on one at a time. What I like to do is I would listen for the heart rate, and I would feel for the breathing. So that kind of made it a little bit easier for me. But that was great. Before we went to the actual hospital, we had our preclinical simulation day. So we were able to feel a cervix. We were able to, you know, practice determining the station of the baby, how many centimeters dilated is the mom, and things like that. We were able to do all of that. We were able to go through assessing baby, assessing mom, bubble the BP. I don't know how y'all learn it at your school, but that's what we had to do. So, you know, breast, uterus, bowels, what's the other B? Breast, uterus, bladder, lochia, episiotomies, seeing if they had any lacerations or episiotomies, and just things like that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because the video would be super, super long, but we had to do assessment on mom, assessment on baby for checkoffs. But other than that, I was able to pass meds. So one of my nurses, she allowed me to pass meds. The other nurse, she didn't. I went to mother, baby, L&D, and the NICU, and I loved all three of them. I got to hold the babies. I mean, of course, I fed the babies. In the NICU, you really can't do too much. But I was able to do feedings, change diapers, take vitals on baby, and things like that. Like, we took a tour of it. So the nurse that I had that day, she allowed me to see the smallest baby. She allowed me to see the baby who's been there the longest. And I got to hear and see a lot of cool things that I've never really got to see before. And like I said, I was so comfortable being there that, you know, it made it easier for me to actually get involved, get my hands dirty, and be more hands-on. So that was great. We were there for 12 hours. It was a 12-hour shift. So that was cool. What else? I don't know. I mean, it was a really great experience. Like, I told my mom, Mommy, this is the semester that I've been waiting for. So if I don't love it, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much. So much. You don't need your stethoscope because they have one in there. Well, for NICU, you don't need a stethoscope because they have it for the baby already. But for L&D, we did need our stethoscope, if I'm not mistaken, for our assessment, because we had to do like care plans on our patients, so that involves a head to toe assessment. What else could I say? I mean, not much. It was just a great experience, y'all. I just really loved it. If y'all have like any specific questions, you can leave them down below. You can DM me on my social media. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. But yeah, like I said, it was just an amazing experience, and I just wanted to let y'all know, like, yes, I was able to hold babies. Yes, I was able to see a vaginal delivery. I was able to see a C-section. I was in there for both of them. I got to hold mom's leg while she delivered. In the NICU, I got to help, you know, with breastfeeding techniques and all of that stuff, y'all. I felt so bomb being in there. Like, I felt so empowered being able to help another woman, you know, go through that experience and make the experience better for her. Like I said, the hospital was great. My instructor was great. And I feel like your instructor really does set the tone, because if their teaching style doesn't link up with your learning style, that makes it so hard. Like, it makes the situation more stressful than what it has to be, and it can hinder you from being productive. But don't think like that. Don't go in there scared. It's okay. Breathe. But whew, excuse me, but well, that concludes this video, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your video suggestions down below. I will see y'all in my next video. And this is my last semester of my junior year. So a year from now, y'all, I'll be graduating. Like, this 3 years went by so fast. Well, 2 years went by so fast. It hasn't been 3 years yet, but the 2 years has gone by so fast. Like, I remember when I was stressed out about if I would even get into nursing school, and look at me, like, I'll be graduating soon. But anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.